am its Megatron, and now its residents shall witness its dismemberment. Rise, my podcast. Serve your new master well. All hail Unicron.
All hail Unicron! All hail Unicron! All hail Unicron!
Hey everybody, welcome to All Hail Unicron, Episode 3. I'm your host, Oscar Alonso. To my left is Justin T2RX6.
Hey.
And to my right in that unruly cackle is the one, the only, Mr. Robert D.
Oh, hello everybody. Sorry I couldn't make it last show, but it's weird. I'm used to saying, "Hey guys, I got to do SEU tonight," and instead I'm like, "I have to do Ahoo."
Ahoo.
I hate
like
you. I got to do. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you.
And not joining us tonight is Mr. Deluxe himself. He is out with the wife, having a good date night with some friends, and they are having a
Swingers.
blast.
Roast
You know,
pug.
yeah, they swapped keys. They did it.
They're going to a club that roasts pugs. It's a swingers club for short fat people that eat pugs and swing.
It's fucking disgusting. Goddamn, Robert. And we are 3 episodes in, and of course, by now, as you all know, Robert did not listen to last week's show at all.
No, I
He
didn't.
doesn't
Why?
listen to any show.
I didn't listen. Why? What happened?
No, just saying. I'm making a point because I bet if it was 4 dummies, he'd be playing it. But
I can't stand to listen to that. You know what's funny? I can't listen to it for dummies because I just make such an ass out of myself. I don't want to hear it again. It makes me sick.
that's your fault. You're the one who did the show with the kingpin of crime, Batman Scarface. He doesn't even react to his Facebook posts anymore. I even wrote on there, I'm like, you killed Daredevil yet? You bullshitting there, Kingpin. And all I got was Phil, I call him Phil Stonk. Yeah.
Phil handles the Facebook for Nerd Rage.
I know.
Yeah, that's why. All you're going to get is Phil, Dinosaur Phil.
Good old Phil's always like, hey, this is a great idea for Ask World. Use the Technobots to do techno music when you do Ask World. I'm like, that's a great idea. But I'm like, I don't got it in me to animate that right now. I feel bad.
That guy stole from me.
Did he?
Yeah, he stole.
What did he steal?
Tennis ball.
Oh, God.
He stole a tennis ball from me. It wasn't
Tell
my
him
tennis ball.
If you told him where it's been, I'm sure he'll give it back. It's been up his
It
ass.
was under my lower back, and then he stole it. Bastard.
Up his ass.
Never forgive him.
It's called his
Sounds
lower
good.
back.
You should never forgive him.
Nope. I'm never going to forgive Phil. Dinosaur Phil.
I'll always forgive Phil. He's got my love.
What do you call a gay dinosaur?
What?
A lot of sore ass. What do you call a lesbian dinosaur? A lick a lot of puss.
Oh boy. I shared those memes that just screamed Robert in the Facebook chat. My favorite is the woman points to the stairs. What's upstairs? And the real estate agent looks at her. The stairs don't talk. So he's like, hey, our neighbor died. Who, Ray? I don't think cheering's appropriate, Karen.
Right, yeah. My favorite one is the salesman, the car salesman, and the customer's like cargo room, and he's like, no, cargo Hong Kong.
The one I saw was cargo space, and the guy goes, no,
cargo space.
Yeah, those were fucking great.
Cargo space, no cargo road.
All right, so we're gonna get this ball rolling. Anybody got anything, Justin?
Let's see. I got 4 more pieces of Ecto 1. I got Magic Square.
Isn't that like a year's worth?
Oh yeah, I got a ton now. I got 10 more coming. They're like, hey, here's the special deal, and we can get it for a discount. I'm like, okay. So, yeah, I got those. I got Magic Square. So, he just threw it up, was like, we're sending your order. Thanks for being patient. I'm like, what order? It's like, oh yeah, Magic Square's Perceptor. Right. Because it was like, we're sending you Deadly. I'm like, who the fuck is Magic Square Deadly? What Magic Square toy did I order? And yeah, I totally forgot that was coming. So I got him.
What do you think of him?
He's okay. He's decent in bot mode. I don't know. Maybe I'm losing my touch, but I was looking at the instructions. I'm like, I don't understand what the fuck it's asking for like half the steps there. So I got to sit down and actually look at it when I'm not supposed to be working or anything like that. Yeah, but I guess we'll see what happens there. So he seems like he's okay. I think that it looks like he has some issues where things like trying to tab them in don't necessarily look like they're going to tab in very well. So I don't know. But that's all. That's all I got.
But I mean, the bot mode's pretty damn good.
Yeah, the bot mode's great. I mean, and that's probably the most important part, right? Like, that's the whole reason that I got him. So, yeah, I'm okay with it.
Right
so
on.
We'll see.
Okay. Robert, what'd you get this week?
Is that all you got, Justin?
That's all I got.
What did I get? All right. You know what's sad is I don't even want to say it. I'm scrolling through Bobby's feed to make sure I didn't miss anything. Isn't that lame? That is so lame.
Pretty bad.
I have no self-respect. Okay. Did I say last time I was on that I got the Fallen?
No, I don't think so.
Fans Flame Toys Fallen?
No.
And
That was in the chat, not in the
I
show.
really am done with Flame Toys. I'm just not buying them anymore. They're extremely expensive. It's $400 for this thing. And I mean, I don't like it. And it's basic. It really is. You'd say, oh, it's a retool of Tarn. It is like they just put like stuff on Tarn. Their Tarn. It's hard to explain, you know, but like all the stuff is there for Tarn's excellent shoulder articulation, but because of the extra boxy shoulder pieces they put over it, he can't move his arms the way Tarn could. Like, I never had any issue with Tarn's hands, but turns out they're on C-clips. Like, I never replaced his hands with the accessories, but they're on C-clips, you know, and they come off. I mean, the hands manipulate. Yeah, the fingers move, so I never had a reason to. I don't even know if you can switch out the hands, but they're on C-clips. And this guy, as soon as I try to move the fingers, thumb will pop off its ball joint, the hand will pop off, you know, and that's unacceptable, especially when, like, the way Flame Toys is, like, they're usually pretty tight friction joints, and you really have to explore what moves, because they usually have, like, Easter egg stuff, you know, but so you really have to move things around and feel it, because you don't know what's just a tight joint and what isn't anything. So his fucking hands just always popping off on me. I'm like, this is bullshit. Like, just a little thing like that just got in the way of me enjoying that figure. I don't like the head sculpt. It just looks like Tarn's cosplaying as the Fallen. That's really what it looks like to me. So I'm like, $400? What am I doing to myself? Like, why? Like, come on. Like, I feel like I don't respect my own money that I make, and it makes me ashamed. It makes me sick of myself doing that. So I'm not buying any more Flame Toys. I'm not, you know, because this isn't the first strike for me. The first strike was Victory Saber. You know, and that thing was a huge, even though it looks really cool, to get it into a cool pose, you have to try to move the joints around. I never even got to fully explore the joints because it falls apart when you do it. Literally, the 3 large pieces. So I'm done with them. You know, it's just like saying I'm not going to buy any more Sentinel products because of their issues like that, build issues. It's Sentinel. It's the same company, same makers. So I'm done. I'm not going to waste my money. But I got that. I got the Zeta Legends aerial bots, the first 2, and I love them. It really feels like just picking them up brought me back to my childhood when I was playing with the G1 aerial bots. They're that size. They seem to be like that, like how like any third-party Legends figure nowadays is what you always imagine they would be. This feels more like the G1 toy, yet masterpiece style sculpt and articulation. There's just something about it. It's really, really wonderful. Like, they have shot up in prominence in terms of, you know, as compared to New Age and Magic Square and Iron Factory. Like, Zeta just popped up there with the rest of them. You know, they're not in the bottom lower rungs like Mech Fans Toys and all their subsidiaries. You know, they're like, I'm never going to get rid of these guys. You know, like people say they love Mech Fans Toys and, you know, whatever all Mech Studios and Papa Poo Poo and Fans Toys Mechs and all the different dumb names that's just Mech Fans Toys. People like, oh, they talk about how great the figures are, but they swap them out. I've yet to see anyone say I'm holding on to my Mech Fans Toys. They always swap them out. Yeah. You know, I'm done with that game. I don't want to do that. I want the best ones to come out, or I'll try a new company, but I'm not just going to buy everything I see just to fill a shelf, just to swap them out. I don't want to do that. So, anyway, those are great. I got the Iron Factory Cyclonus, and it's Matt's fault. I think I said this. I said I ordered him at the last time I was on because of Matt's review. Like, everything in Matt's review told me that I was confirmed my decision not to fucking buy the thing. But then when he stood him next to Galvatron and Scourge, I was like, God damn it. Now I got to buy it because they look good together. You have to have all three. And Iron Factory, I doubt they're going to make another Cyclonus. So I got him, and here's what it is. You know, he looks cool. It's really funny how Iron Factory nowadays really is just shit alt mode, and everyone gives him a pass. But so many times their figures are just garbage alt modes. They're so bad, and this one, you know, doesn't disappoint. It is just a joke of an alt mode, and the hilarity of it is their shit alt modes are hard to get to. Like, they're really hard to transform. You would think with a shit alt mode, you could just fucking fold the hands down, the legs up, and say, yeah, that's Cyclonus. But it's a pain in the ass, you know, just because of the tolerance stuff. But whatever. I got I finished the New Age Devastator set. You know, it's cool. It is what it is. I don't mind the parts forming. I don't mind the fact that 3/4 of it is a parts forming action figure. It's fine. I mean, the opposite end of this.
It doesn't bother me because it's a combiner, right? Like, if I had to take things apart to make, you know, fucking Hook go from crane mode to robot mode, okay, now I have an issue. But like when you're talking about a combiner, come on, cut it some slack.
Yeah, I'm good with it. I'm fine with it. You know, should his eyes been painted, not clear plastic? Yeah. Should he had a little bit more articulation? Yeah. Because there's no excuse. It's not like, well, it's all combining robots and it's limited. It's like, no. You made an action figure. Like, you made 3/4 of it is the combining piece. So you could have, especially how the set's $400. So it's like, wait a minute. This isn't cheap. You know, give us ratchets everywhere and put the paint on it, you know? And then it would have been really perfect. But it's still good. It's good. I got the first 2 Magic Square Devastator releases. It was Scrapper and what else?
Mixmaster, right?
Yeah, Mixmaster. And I warned Matt about those transformations. That Mixmaster was a nightmare to transform. And it wasn't. This is another example. What figure did you have, Justin, where the instructions were confusing?
It's the Deadly, the Perceptor, who's just a fucking box. Yeah. Like, it should not be hard to transform, but I'm like, what the fuck is going on with these instructions?
Yeah, these Magic Square Constructicons were each difficult for me personally, really frustrating to transform because I was using the instructions. You know, and it came to the point where I said, fuck this. I'm not getting anywhere with this. So I just put them down, and then I figured it out. Turns out the instructions missed a few things and didn't really explain how to do a few things, even though they're kind of showing what you're supposed to do, I guess. So it fucked the whole experience up. And it's a prime example of how it shows how important good instructions are. And that's the last chance you as a company have to interface with your customer and make the experience good. That's how you take a figure that might have been expensive, but this customer's been waiting for it and they paid for it. That's how you fucking put some freaking, you know, it's like you make the best steak in the world and then you put no salt on it when you're serving, you know? Like, you gotta season the thing up, you know? So it's like you're like, they paid the money, they have the anticipation, they're looking forward to it, and then you fucking shit in their soup. You know, like why would the instructions should not be treated like an afterthought. Instructions are cheap to do. It's just time.
It always gets me. They're like, we're gonna put this on a post-it note size of paper. Like, what the? Why can you not spring for some decent instructions? Like, everything doesn't have to be black and white and all that shit. Like, let me see
All
what you have
76
going on.
steps.
There
Yeah.
are
All
no
76.
there. What's that, Oscar?
Did all 76 steps of them, black and white post-it paper.
Yeah, and flip it to see him transform.
Yeah.
Just flip through them like a flip book. But yeah, it's amazing to me because what's the excuse? What is your excuse? Is there a defender out there for it? Really? Were you gonna say it's parts count, cost of materials, the pandemic? It's some idiot sitting there trying to communicate to you on paper how to experience their product. And that is so important when it comes to maintaining your relationship with that customer. And that's your reputation, because if somebody doesn't take a minute to go, wait a minute, this figure's not bad. The instructions are making this figure bad. My experience right now, my first impression of this figure, and therefore my feelings about this company, are being affected by these instructions. And yes, there are lots of figures out there that are just bad, but there are a lot of times where it's not so bad, but the instructions make it horrible. And then you say this figure sucks. You know, that the Magic Square Constructicon is a prime example, because once I put the instructions down, it took 5 seconds. And that's when I was like, oh, it's the fucking instructions. You know, God damn it. Anyway, what else did I get? I lost my pen.
And Pete Thundercracker.
I got Masterpiece Thundercracker. I haven't transformed him yet. I don't know what it is with these Takara figures. I just get such anxiety about transforming them. And I'm like, just the thing's still sitting there in the box. And every time I'm like, I'm going to take half an hour to myself and sit down with a spudger and transform this guy. And then I find an excuse not to. You know? But I love Starscream. I love him. I love his presence. I love the Takara Starscream. So I know I'm going to love Thundercracker. I got Cang Toys Mini Firmament, and it's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous little figure. Again, Cang Toys, they shot up in the ranks. They're up there with New Age, Magic Square, Iron Factory, Zeta. It's so nice to see 5 companies all doing, generally speaking, a good job. I mean, you only have 1 figure from Cang Toys. You only have 2 figures from Zeta. But at least we know they each have experience creating masterpiece size figures, and it's cool to see that they can scale down to legends, but still appreciate the need for paint, and they understand that joints are different, materials are different because of the size, and they handle the transition. It's cool to see. And even the aerial bots, they have little masterpiece moments, like when you push the arms into the body to when you go into plane mode, like they have little, their chests collapse, like spring loaded, and then they fill out again when you pull the arms out, like little things. It's cool. I got the 3-0 Megatron, the Siege Megatron. Okay. I love him. I love that figure. I fucking love that figure. I wish RoboSen would do that would be so cool to do like a Megatron. I got the 3-0 Nemesis Prime. I didn't realize that I got him so soon. I got him like 3 days ago. And then it was yesterday Matt posted his, and Matt gets his shit mad early. I'm like, God damn it, this was early? Because I've just been so busy. I'm like, I had such bragging rights I missed out on. And I got it from BBTS too, early. Wow. I was like, that's why I figured, this thing must have been out for fucking 6 months.
From BBTS early.
That's why I thought it was. That's why I thought it was fucking late. I'm like, this thing must have been out for 6 months. Because it came in BBTS.
Yep.
What were you saying, Oscar?
No, I was just saying. That's all.
Say it.
Nothing important. Move on. What else?
And then it turns out I also ordered I ordered it because I love the Nemesis one so much, and I got the 3-0 regular Prime too, and that came yesterday. And then last but not least, I got the RoboSen auto converting Optimus Prime.
Ugh.
It's really expensive, and I gotta tell you, I have to admit, I gotta be honest with myself. It's fun, but you can't keep him on your shelf, and then whenever you feel like it, turn him on, and then not in that way. I mean, like just power him up, and have him talk to you and do stuff because. If you power him off in robot mode, his servers go off and he fucking falls down. Like he's like, I'm dying. Like you can reenact his death every time if you shut him off in robot. He dies. So you can't have Optimus off standing on your shelf, which
That's
I think
weird. What kind of
Yeah.
decision is that?
I mean, he's I don't know. It's weird. You're burning juice. Just have him standing.
Yeah,
He's
I don't.
balancing with battery power.
That's because he was created by Microsoft and Bill Gates, man. Just know it's stuff you have to read. Shattered Glass Blur.
I mean, and what's cool, it would be awesome to have him just on all day. Maybe I can just keep him plugged in, but I don't want to burn him out because he stands there. Like after a while, if you don't issue a command, he starts breathing. Like he's just standing there breathing. You know, he
Why have you
moves.
not transformed me?
Turn me
Robert,
on again.
Why are you masturbating again? I am Optimus Prime. Put away your penis. Convert.
So you'd have to display him in truck mode. And obviously, unless your shelves are deep as fuck, he's got to be sideways in truck mode.
You know what my problem with that is? Like part of the appeal to me for Transformer figures, whether it's third party or mainline from Hasbro, is the fact that you are the one converting them from robot to alt mode.
You know what?
That doing it on its own, it's a good novelty gimmick. It really is. I think it's neat, but it's just that's one reason why it's not for me because you're seeing him do this, but you could do that the very same thing you're seeing him do. You could see it on any television show that's on there or someone with a 3D animating program. So I don't know, man.
You have to be willing to take it to the next level to really make it like to really if you're only going to have him transform and say a couple of things, then I see that. And the only really way to justify diving into this figure is to enjoy the fact that he's actually a fully functioning RC car, you know? Like you have to download the app, link it to your phone, link it to the bot, and then you can drive him around. You know, he turns everything, front, back, turning, everything. But it's also fully programmable, all the servos, and audio. So you can have him say things, you can play music, and you can program any series of movements at any joint that you want. So you can really, if you have the time, you can delve into this and do some sick stuff with sound effects, voices, music. You know, so like he comes with like 26 pre-programmed commands, and it's kind of just as an example, but there's like some music from the show, like different songs from the episodes and sound effects and stuff, and it's just. It makes it more enjoyable, and I really hope that I can find the time and energy to get into it and program some cool stuff and have Scarlett do it with me because, hey, why not? It could be educational, you know, but can you imagine that? Like, that's really kind of using the figure how it was intended, why it was built like that, you know? It's not supposed to just stand on your shelf. He can't just stand on your shelf, which is annoying. But anyway, if the way it is, a busy person, work is extremely time consuming, family is extremely time consuming. His office looks like it was, you know, Nagasaki 2.0, you know, where his displays are. It's just like, I have no time. So by default, unless I find a way to make the time, it is a waste of money for me because it's just going to go back in the box, which is what people say. It's a gimmick and it's just going to go back in the box. You know, which is frustrating because
it's just
I would love to be able to delve into it. You know.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah. One of my problems with that particular with that Optimus is he has that it's that toy that you had as a kid that does all these things on its own, but it doesn't leave any room for my own imagination basically, and what I have it do, and then that type of thing bores me after a while. Like if it can only do
Right.
like certain things. Like even though it can be programmed to do all these great things, it's like it'd be the type of thing that's like I look at it, I mess with it for a few weeks, and then I probably never go back to it ever again. Like that's the
Yeah.
problem with that type of toy for me. So and then
Yeah.
I'm like tackle on the price and like no. So
I think yeah, that's the thing. I'm feeling it now. I'm like, wow, this thing is just going back in a box. Even
Yeah,
if I went
it's-
through all that effort.
It's
I
a
don't
good
know.
thing to pop out at a party to show, check this shit out. But it's, I don't know, the appeal for me was always that little puzzle factor of getting them from robot to vehicle to alt mode or beast mode, whatever the case may be. So and it's not there. So it's not for me. If people dig it, that's great, but it's just not for me.
Well, I wonder how many people are going to be honest with themselves. I can't imagine everybody except me thinks it was like the thought of me not buying it, I still feel FOMO. So I'm like, no, I'm glad I got it just because I have to. I felt like I had to. I always imagined having something like this. But take that off the table. Objectively speaking, it's like, well, it is just going to go back in a fucking box. Like, who else is going to admit that? Because who's got him standing? And if you got him standing, tell me how you did it. Because once his batteries die, he's not standing anymore. If you let the batteries die, unless they just keep them plugged in or something, I don't know. But
yeah, it's
that's
really
it.
weird because I would feel like they'd have some kind of like encoder that just kind of controls, like it's here or it's there. It like rotates this piece and it stays there until some kind of motor is actually forcing it to move again.
Yeah, I didn't think that was going to happen, and it was just like, well, the servos don't lock, and I guess maybe that helps to prevent breakage. Like all the joints you can move, and you hear the servos moving, like everything moves. Like if you pick up the truck and you don't hold it with two hands, like he starts like coming apart, not apart, but his legs will separate and his waist will bend. You got to hold it, But if it's on a flat surface, it's just a truck. He doesn't lock in as a truck. You can't hold him by the cab and he's just sitting there at attention with his legs straight out. It doesn't work. It doesn't happen. His legs go, if he's off,
Yeah.
So anyway, that's it. It was quite the Baldwin drop. I rarely get those, but it's been slowly just coming in every day. And I have no room for anything. That's the joke of it all. I've got the house in Jersey, but I'm just like, am I really going to put my fucking displays everywhere in the house? Like I only have room for like maybe 3 to 5 billies, but there's a lot of places where I can do that. So it'd have to be like, oh, here's 2 billies, here's 3 billies, here's 2 billies, here's 5 billies. Just every room in the house has a display. I don't want that. I don't know what to do. Anyway,
Okay.
What'd you get, Oscar?
you talk too much. What'd you get, Oscar? Fucking jerk.
Matthew Deluxe Baldwin hooked me up with a Wreck-Gar.
Nipple.
So, very nice Studio Series figure. Had a lot more fun with him than I thought I would.
Really?
Yeah, really fun transformation. I really like the alt mode. I think the robot mode was executed perfectly. I'm just reminded of how that atrocious Generation 1 figure looked. Jesus, that big ass head. It really reminds me of like freaking J.R. Geiger's Aliens design and shit like that. But yeah, so I picked that up. Baldwin picked that up for me, sent it over to me. Thank him. I thank you so much, Matthew. I love you, buddy. And then while we were shopping at Walmart the other day, I went just to go look to see what they had because they've had the last wave of Kingdom, not the most recent one with like Shadow Panther and stuff, but they had like the last wave of Kingdom just peg warming. And we found Shadow Panther. My wife picked it up for me. Now I have this affinity for the Black Deco of Transformers. It's one of my first Beast Wars figures was Shadow Panther.
Really?
The Takara line, yeah. And that's not like when I was a kid. I didn't know anything about him when I was a kid. I never bought Beast Wars when I was a kid. When I was a teenager, anyway. Because by then I was too busy hiding my love for action figures from my friends. Because I just want to look like a nerd. So yeah, I remember over 10 years ago, man, I bought them on eBay for like $45, and I was just like, oh, it was like the Telemoka series or something like that, and I was like, this is fucking dope. Like I really like this. This is awesome, and it was just a great figure. I ended up selling him a couple of years down the road from there, but I was like, this isn't bad. It's a Black Cheetor repaint with the mutant mask on.
Right.
So it still has those awkward shoulders I'm not a fan of, but I think because it's painted in black with yellow highlights, I think it just works a lot better than it did for Cheetor. He still has those huge fucking calves because the legs fold into the left and into the calves, and you get these itty bitty feet. But I don't know, it's really not that bad. I like it. I enjoy it a lot. Beast Wars fans will probably love it. There's a lot of people like, oh, Cheetor was such a good release, and I'm just like, no, that's kind of a piece of shit. Except this is like, wow, this is kind of the same piece of shit, but he looks good in black, He's black. But I picked him up also, and then I shipped my stash from the Chosen Prime, so it's on its way here this week. So I'll be able to talk about that in the next show. Ship. Yeah.
Oh, it said something else.
That's
so that's on
too.
its way.
Shipped my stash.
Shipped my stash.
And
I finally shipped my stash after hiding it in jail.
And also been working on a Central Barbossa comic for our All Hail Unicron page on Facebook. Some of you noticed we renamed it, retitled it. So I'm working on that also. Gotten really good at drawing first aid, apparently. So I'm knocking it out of the park with him every time I put him in a panel. So that's going to be fun.
I love first aid's inclusion.
So did last week you guys mentioned to send in a voice recording? Should we ask people to do that now rather than wait till the end of the show?
You will notice, and I'm not going to repeat the cadence. Shout out to Mr. Fong. William with does he have majestic hair? Last time I saw he had cut his hair. I don't know if he still has.
It's still majestic, my friend.
Okay.
Sexually majestic.
Yeah. So anyway, shout out to him and Stacy. I believe did the female voice, but he submitted some voices, and we appreciate that. So you would have heard that in the intro. So follow the cadence that they've provided, and I would like to just keep layering more and more and more and more voices right on top. So make it happen, people.
And every show, whoever sends in a voice clip will shout you out and say that, oh, so-and-so has added their All Hail Unicron. You can hear him, play it back. And every week, it'll grow and grow and grow. And let's see how big we can get it.
I do want it to grow. I will say I don't know if we'll be doing shout outs to every person, because if we do get like a windfall of like 50 people doing it, I'm going to want to be like, all right, Oscar, let's get the list.
Do you understand? You tell them we're going to do it, and then you don't do it. If
you want to, ask us your questions for, tell us your problems, and we can answer your problems in the Let's Fix Your Life segment, then,
it's a new segment. We give
then you will most
advice.
definitely get shouted out on the podcast. So,
but we will
only
life questions.
We
will only answer your live questions if you send a voice clip.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So,
all right.
And Oscar will give you $100.
No, I will not. Good God, no. Just, robertgiagani@gmail.com is the PayPal to request that money from.
I'm just so glad you always mispronounce my name, so no one can actually ever find me.
Yeah, pretty much. That's the point of it.
That's why I've just. I don't know if you haven't been paying attention to the document, but you go in as Robert Duyjuy-sabado-gigante.
What? Where?
In the every single show note. That's. You are
it's on the end.
host.
It's very end underneath host. It says Robert Duyjuy-sabado-gigante.
Big Saturday.
Yes.
Yeah. You never heard of that show?
I haven't.
No. It would have been from New York. I mean, it was like like when I was a kid, man. Some listeners don't know this. I am Hispanic. I come from a Cuban household. So every Saturday night, we either went to my aunt's house or they came to our place, our apartment. And we would watch Sabado-Gigante, which was the ultimate variety show.
Mm-hmm.
You had Don Francisco, who was the host. And then, I forget the name of the guy. It was a guy who would wear like this whole black robe looking like an executioner. And whenever they had like a talent segment, if they sucked, he'd come out, he'd blow his little trumpet. Like, get him on there. Like one of the last Halloween parties my mom and dad dragged my sister and I to before they got divorced officially. My dad went as that character, and he got so fucking shit-faced. He was like, then he puked all over the fucking Trump. You know, then of course, he's a Santeria priest, so he's just like, I gotta make an offering to appease the gods. I puked in my costume. My mom's like, no, don't do that. You're so fucking wasted, Oscar. I'm named after my dad. Yeah.
So, speaking of puking, last Friday, not this past Friday, but the Friday before that, I had 6 kids in my car. Was it 1, 2? Yeah, 6 kids were in my car.
I'm puking right now.
We're driving. We're just getting, like, it was like a shit show. It was 2 schools stopping by to get kids, dropping one of their brothers off at the train station in the opposite direction in the middle of traffic that was slowly becoming terrible because it was getting on 4 o'clock. Finally get on the highway, and it's a parking lot. It's a parking lot for miles and miles and miles and miles and miles. We're only supposed to be about 7 minutes out. It's now about 45 minutes out, you know,
Yikes.
and then I hear this. So I'm playing music, you know, and I hear Azalea's all the way in the last row in the back, and I hear, I feel nauseous. And I lower the radio. I go, did you just say I feel nauseous? And she goes, yup.
Oh,
And
no.
it was the chunkiest, like, high-powered stream of, like, vomit mud gunk. Like, it wasn't a nice watery one. And we're sitting in the left lane of a highway with no shoulder. And I'm just like, all right, kids, once we get up to a rest stop, do you want to stop and clean up that vomit? You know, it's going to delay us even more. Right now, it's taking 3 hours to get to where we're going. Do you want to stop, make it 3.5 hours, maybe 3 hours and 45 minutes? Or do we put some sanitizer on that puke? Someone have perfume? I got perfume. All right, cover it in paper towels and power through. And the kids are just like, roll down the windows and power through.
Yeah.
And then I was fucking around with the kids. When it finally opened up, I started steering like a maniac to get them all freaked out. And then I started laughing because they did get freaked out. And it turns out I made all the vomit topple in the back seat.
Oh, no.
No.
So, like, all the perfume and hand sanitizer was now under the vomit, not on top of the vomit.
You know, we might as well save the notes for next week because this is going to turn into a major bullshitting session, and I got to get up early. But I do have to talk about this. I did watch the new Halloween Kills movie recently.
Oh.
On the Peacock app. If you download it and sign up for their trial, you can actually watch this brand new film that's in cinemas at home. And holy shit, dude, I have never, and I made a Facebook post and I stick to my guns. I haven't yelled at my television since I was like 9 years old. Like, even when I got frustrated with games, I get pissed, I just stop playing it, walk away, that's it. I don't throw controllers, none of that shit. But this movie literally had me going, what are you doing? Don't go in the house. What? Now you're in the house. And I'm going to fucking spoil it for you. Laurie Strode's daughter gets killed at the end. But it's like she's up there because she thought she saw a baby Michael Myers. When Michael Myers as a kid in his little clown outfit from the first Halloween movie back when 79, the year I was born. Freaking, like, she's up there and he just appears behind her, stabs the shit out of her. I'm like, well, that's what you get, bitch. You should have stayed downstairs, Joe dumbass, trying to solve crimes and shit. The fuck is wrong with you? You know, and there's like a lot of bad decisions made in this film by the characters. Like, it's not bad writing. I had a blast watching this fucking movie. The kills were fucking brutal. I love my horror movie slashers. I mean, but holy shit, man. Again, spoilers. Tommy Doyle gets like half a Haddonfield fucking slaughtered near the end after the whole mob beats the dog shit out of freaking Michael Myers. He like comes back and he kills like fucking 13 more people.
Wow.
I'm looking forward to the Dead Meat episode kill count on this film. That's for fucking sure. So, yeah, it's really good. Check it out. It is Halloween spooky season. I thought for shits and giggles I would read a letter that Albert Fish wrote to his victims' parents, but that's really inappropriate. So I'm not going to read that. But yeah, you know, it is spooky season. Hell, by the time this airs, some of y'all will be at TFCon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I did get a whole shitload of animatronics for the house. Like, there's everywhere now.
I saw them. That's cool.
What, honey? What is that?
Have you seen that Facebook post of the guy who went overboard with his Halloween decorations, where it looks like a fucking straight up crime scene, Justin?
If we're talking about Roberts, yes, but other than that, no, I don't. think I
I'm
have.
talking about the guy who like has these dummies laid out in his front lawn, looking like they just like. One guy his head exploded. Like the cops came in because people were like saying, like the first person thought it was an actual like crime scene. He's like, "Oh my god, these people are dead." It's just Halloween decorations. I mean, holy fuck, man. No one out here does it that big. That's for fucking sure.
I got a big gorilla suit for Halloween, like a full head to toe gorilla suit. Spirit of Halloween. If you go there early, they got so much stuff.
I know.
I never go there early. I usually go there like 2 days before Halloween, where I'm like, I guess I'm going as a roll of toilet paper, not
What do you
the
have
actual
left?
fun one. They're just selling toilet paper, calling it the mummy costume. Yeah, I still got to put more shit up, but I think it's gonna freak my mother-in-law out. Like I got like from Lowe's, they had the life-size witch that like cackles at you and talks shit to you. Like, is that a mask? Like her mouth moves and shit. But I got some fun stuff.
Fucking Facebook is integrated with TikTok or Instagram where people are ripping TikTok videos and uploading it to their Instagram. And I saw one where like some kid was looking at a witch decoration that stands up.
Yeah.
To laugh, and this kid like wailed on it, straight up bodied that fucking.
It's probably the same one that Lowe's sell. They've had it for years now. It's like 5.5 feet tall. And it's like a witch, and she's fully clothed, and she like talks shit to you and cackles. I love it. I think it's probably the same one. Like, you just want to punch her in the face. Oh, man. So, speaking, I know you wanted to just do the note. You wanted to save the. Anybody, but just when it comes to official, did anybody fund the Star Saber?
Nope.
I thought about
You
it.
did.
I backed out at the last second.
You know,
Okay.
Matt did. Matt most definitely did.
Oh yeah, that definitely did. I'll
Matt's
talk
like,
for him. Hell yeah, I did it, man. Roll Tide.
I
just-
like
backed
that
it
rock
twice to make sure that it made stretch goals.
I'm getting 6 of them sent to me, man.
So
Lisa's
it
gonna
did
be
make
so
all of its
pissed.
stretch goals, I believe, like all 3
Yeah.
tiers or whatever.
Yeah, but the stretch goals, I don't understand. Now they're just calling accessories stretch goals.
Yeah, I know. They're all stuff that I'm sure was gonna be there anyway. You
It's-
know?
I mean,
like-
I hope the people that backed it get a great executed figure out of it, because those Sentinels that a lot of people have been getting got like really bad floppy knees. Like the thing won't stand up on its own.
Yeah.
You know, there was
I
a
ordered that
run.
Galactus.
There
I
was
mean,
a
You have a fear,
was
I
like-
guess, when you combine Victory Saber and Victory Leo or whatever, Star Saber and Victory Leo. That would be my fear of like the knees and things like that. But like,
yeah. Like
I
see
think
some
that you
style
probably don't
issues.
have too much to worry about with Transform. I mean, they could always, I guess, not put ratchets and stuff in, and then you have
See-
everything to worry about. But
You're not getting a big figure though. It's not big, right? It's just
yeah, only really when combined is it kind of a bit big, you know. So
but it's really just kind of obscure for us, and it's like this thing belongs in retail. Like
Yeah.
this is a retail release, and like the fact that they just released the accessories as like stretch goals, it means they know it's just retail. Like there is no fucking stretch goal to release with the goddamn thing.
hmm
I
There isn't
gotta
one.
agree with that, man. I think that was kind of bullshit for stretch goals to be blast effects and mini cons and shit like that, when you could have maybe aimed and added something else on there, you know?
yeah, all those stretch goals end up being they're like stuff that like first off cost them like nothing to make, you
Right.
know, like
Yeah.
So
A stretch goal would have been something like, okay, if we're selling this many units, we're adding paint apps.
yeah, exactly.
what I
That's
mean?
a good stretch goal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
To make it more premium.
yeah, not be like, hey, if we make this, we will ungate that shield from the mold. You know, like, come on.
That was kind of shitty. It's like, oh, so one of the stretch goals is an accessory that came with the original G1 figure. That, wow, that's fucked up.
Stretch goal 1 is he comes in a clamshell now.
He's
Stretch
gonna
goal
have a
2,
box.
we bubble wrap it.
Stretch goal 3, we use the old cardboard twist ties on it. Eh? Yeah, like in the early 2000s, you guys? You guys like that when you're classics? Eh? Yeah. It seemed kind of shitty. It's like you gotta go get a burger. You order a burger, but if you want buns, you gotta pay an extra $2.
Yeah.
God help you if you want pickles. That's another $2. You know. And you're like, oh, I just paid $10 for this burger. It's so good. You know. Meanwhile, someone's like, well, I just got this McDonald's. It cost me 99 cents.
Yeah.
It's fucking yummy.
Look, the fact is, it's just, you can tell they didn't produce it for retail because maybe they weren't sure if it would sell at retail.
Yeah,
you know.
And I think doing it as a Haslab thing was 100%. It made sense. Like 100%. I would do that too with a character that you're not sure you're gonna be able to sell, right? But you know, like the fact that your stretch goals are just stupid, lame stuff. You know, like yeah, I don't know. That was something. So
how much is it?
I don't remember.
$179.
That's crazy, guys. It's still a chug, you know, not as an insult. But would you classify it as? It's got to be considered chug.
Yeah, I think so.
$179 fucking dollars. Look, I understand you're getting a 2-foot tall Sentinel or a fucking huge Galactus, you know, or a fucking barge, you know. I mean, but a chug, like just the two combining chug. It's
if you
almost
notice,
$200.
there has been kind of a decline on the size of these Haslab products. The barge was huge. You know, the Sentinel was huge. Unicron was huge. And now I was like, well, here's the newest one. It's a little smaller. You know.
I
Hi
guess
guys.
the question is like for when it comes to you know, Transformers, like what stuff could you see them doing something like this? You know, like I feel like these releases you don't know if they're gonna sell are perfect. You know, like so I can't fault them on the size, but I definitely can say that like $179 for two figures that are questionable quality. You know, I mean, like you can see the stuff you can see like that the Victory Saber has like the arms fold in on the small jet mode. You know, like I'm like, what is that? Like, why didn't you cover that? Like for $179, you couldn't put a cover on there. There's something you could do as a stretch goal for extra money. We will include extra pieces. You know, we'll make this overall more expensive character to
good
produce.
idea for me for a stretch goal, especially for Star Saber, would be like get a little figurine of the kid from the TV show that was always like his best buddy. You know, I forget his name, but like include him. Fuck with those minicons. Mm-hmm. Include the little kid, so that way you're properly representing its origin. You know, its origin material. And you could give respect to the fans that watched that show and love that show. I never watched Transformers Victory. You know, I was aware of it because of Star Saber because he looked amazing. But the few clips I've seen, there's that little dude. Like, have him be like a little plus. Like, hey, you get a figurine of the kids.
Maybe some type of art. You know, hang on your wall. Something
nice
good. Something signed.
Wall scroll or something like that. Yeah. That'll look fucking amazing. Like, do that. Don't fucking put blast effects, you know, like if it did, like if it didn't make the
just
blast
been included, they shouldn't have been stretch goals. Like the way
that you could still use like the Omega Supreme blast effects and like Skylink's blast effects on
Omega
it.
Supreme and stuff come with blast effects. You didn't have to, you know, they didn't have to have so many sold. Like, come on.
I don't know. I mean, $180, and I'm looking at Takara Starscream 3.0, and that's $250. Well, why would for $70 more you're getting a true masterpiece that'll never be defeated on the shelf? I mean, if you're in on the, you know, I don't know, the deformation space, people love it. But personally, this thing's gorgeous. It screams Starscream. He has so much presence. So $70 more, you get that versus just a chug, a FOMO chug. These are like chugs. FOMO. These are FOMO chugs.
They are FOMO, but definitely.
Just like Unicron, that was a FOMO chug. That's what that is. Buy it because we're never making another one. Mm-hmm. You know, and I'll bet you they might do that with the Star Saber. Watch.
People are going to flip this Star Saber for like $600, and that's the reason why a lot of these things got backed in the fucking.
But here's
place.
the thing, though: you can have confidence that they'll never bother to redo Unicron because it's so big and it's so
Star Saber you
expensive
can't
to
have
make.
that guarantee for.
You can redo Star Saber at retail. If they see they could sell it, they can release him.
Yeah.
You know, and he'll come with all the stretch goal accessories in his package with his cardboard fiber twist ties.
Yeah, they'll just make it like a BBTS exclusive or some shit like that. Like that's all they'll do.
Or Hasbro Pulse exclusive.
Or
It'll be like
Target.
Nemesis Star Saber.
Or Target and Walmart. They might just put it on Target and Walmart.
You know, with those whatchamacallit Oscars, the I forget what they were.
Shattered Glass.
Yeah, they had like those Robot Masters, which came like they had the Shadow versions of them and stuff back in the day.
Yep.
Like, yeah, 100%. They could just go ahead and make a Shadow Victory Saber, you know.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, like you're right, Robert. Like Unicron's not something that they could easily just produce and be like, yep, you know, we're gonna make more of them. Like, I mean, they could, you know, they've got the mold and they could re-release it for a limited time and all that stuff, a reissue, you know, 'cause that's not out of the question. But I definitely would say
it's definitely
more,
a bigger risk.
Yeah, I think you're definitely more likely to see this type of thing happen for Victory Saber later on down the road.
Yeah, they didn't make any promises, did they?
Nah, probably not.
No, I don't remember them saying it's like Haslab Hasbro Pulse, whatever, exclusive. You know, one time only, limited run.
Mm-hmm.
This RoboSend Prime says, you know, limited run. You know, like it's numbered, but I don't even believe that.
No,
Why
all
would
I gotta
they?
do is be like, we would like to license 1,000 more or something like that.
We're doing a white one now.
Yeah.
And then a black one. And then a camo one. And a Bape one. You know?
Yeah.
Is the Bape the camo? I don't even know anymore.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, yeah. Could do all that
A dead
stuff.
one. You know? Like, if they're gonna do that.
Yeah, they're like, the only and I think we've seen this happen before, you know, where, we've seen it with, like, Ultra Magnus and Skywarp way back in the day when, like, they came out as this, like, 2-pack, this Walmart exclusive 2-pack, and then they're like, you know, people got up in arms about that when they're like, well, it is still exclusive because this one has a slightly different deco, or it was something like that. It was it wasn't the Skywarp, it was the Coneheads, I think, the TFCC Coneheads, and people were, you know, they're convention exclusives, and then like they came out in like Generations or some shit like that, and people were like, well, what the fuck? And they're like, nope, it's got a different paint app, you know, like it's no longer, it's not the limited one, that is still limited. And it's like, come on, you know, like you knew what you did there.
So yeah, I'm definitely not getting this thing. Where did Oscar go?
He's sleeping.
I think he fell asleep.
I don't know. Oscar?
Hey.
Oscorn?
Oscorn?
I don't know where he went. So.
Oh well. I haven't shaved since Friday. Lisa wants me to wear a mustache. She wants me to grow a mustache. I look like Dr. Phil with hair. But Scarlett vehemently does not want me to grow a mustache.
Yeah.
I really hope listeners fucking send in their voice clips.
They can. They should, because it's going to be really something special if they do that. Like, really.
I mean, we can't do it.
No.
If we do it, it's like liking your own post.
Mm-hmm. No, we can't do that.
You know? No. I won't do it. They better do it. I'm going to go hunt them down. I'm going to go fly down to Florida and give Willie a kiss. I heard he's helping Brian Laundrie hide out.
Yeah.
Are you following the Brian Laundrie scandal?
No, I don't. I am not.
Do you know what it is?
Nope.
Gabby Petito? You haven't heard about this?
Wait, I think I have.
Brian Laundrie's the fiance that.
Yeah.
Like,
okay. All right. Yes.
Yes. His parents like covered for him. Here's the thing: like she's missing. He comes back to Florida to his parents, and they have several days together. They do like some camping. They come back. her mom's calling his mom, like, we can't find Gabby. Where's Gabby? They're not returning her calls. And then when she's finally reported missing and the cops show up at his door, they already have a lawyer retained. Right there tells you the parents know that he did something that required the retention of an attorney.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Yes, Azalea.
Yeah.
Here, right. Say all hail Unicron. Say it. Now you're shy? Come on. You want to talk? Okay, what? You're going to interrupt, but you want to talk.
I can't find anything colored.
You have markers in your school bag. Yes, you do. I'm in the middle of a show. Yes. Can I please go back to the show? Thank you. Come again. So this new cat has very long hair. Turns out, unlike the bear and the rabbit in the woods, she does have a problem with shit sticking to her fur. And it's a nightmare because she drops shit bombs around the house. I thought she was pooping in the house. Turns out they're just getting stuck to her fur and then dropping randomly. Wow. Everyone in this house has stepped in stinking, sticky cat shit. And just the other day, Azalea was playing with some Legos, and then she held her hand up, and she had like a webbing of cat crap between her fingers.
Oh, man.
She was like screaming.
I can't find it.
I don't have any, honey. Ask Scarlett. I'm doing a show.
Tell me where the stuff.
I don't know. I am sure I don't know. Check your art bins. Art bin.
Okay, sorry.
Man, that was a big dump.
It was.
So do you know where Brian Laundrie is?
Who?
You too? You don't know who Brian Laundrie is?
I don't recognize his name, but I knew the chick's name. So we've been watching that stuff going on.
Gabby Petito, her and Brian Laundrie were camping, van life. Okay.
Yes, yeah. The poor white girl that disappeared, and everyone's worried about her, even though there's other people.
He's in my backyard. No,
I
shouldn't say that. Yeah, I can't wait till they find Dog the Bounty Hunter went to his house.
That was funny. For those not in the know, Dog the Bounty Hunter, especially you youngins out there, is a popular bounty hunter that he had his own reality show on TV back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And, I guess the Ozzy Osbourne sounding guy did his theme song and shit. And, it showed the part of Hawaii I always knew existed, but I never saw it. The drug addled, like meth is a big problem out there in Hawaii. A lot of people need help and stuff. And he hunts down these people that jump bail and, gets his money back. And he's always like, oh, what's up, brother? And then he was really super popular, especially his wife, Beth, who was like this voluptuous woman with, like, let's face facts here, massive breasts. He got into some controversy twice. He was in the news. Once was when he went to Mexico to apprehend a fugitive who escaped over to Mexico. He ended up catching a guy, but then he got caught by Mexican authorities. Big to do ordeal there. And then the one that kind of killed his career was he went on like this racist rant with his son over the phone because he was going out with a young black woman.
I thought it was Hulk Hogan.
No, that too. That's just the Hulk Hogan ordeal was he didn't want his daughter dating a black man for the reasons, and he said the words. But like Dog the Bounty Hunter was like, "Oh, we don't want in this house. You know what I mean, son? It's just blah blah." So that kind of killed his career. So he just kept doing I think Beth had passed away from cancer. So he was distraught there, and the internet kind of gave him a break from that, and then. Next thing you know, what's her name again that disappeared?
Gabby Petito.
Gabby Petito disappeared, and he joined the hunt to hunt this guy down. And they showed footage of him over at the guy's house.
Knocking on the door.
At the guy's parents' house, knocking on the door like crazy with all the cameras there watching him. That's so much spectacle. It's not even funny. If he had any intent on really finding her, he would not have had made sure the cameras were there to watch him fucking pound on the door and be like, "Hey, I'm looking for your son, brother." But I remember I used to watch the show, right? And I thought it was so cool because this guy like looks like a retired former pro wrestler. Shout out to the Rockin' Wrestling. I love that Facebook group. Chris Pinkerton, Jose Diaz, all of them. But like he looked like a retired wrestler, and his kids were like straight up little badasses. Then I watched one episode where Beth took him to go see a UFC fight in Hawaii. And like she's all like, yeah, get him, kick his ass. And he's sitting there going, it's disgusting, And then they had that moment. She's like, what's wrong, baby? Why don't you like it? He's like, Beth, it hurts my spirit to watch stuff like that. And I was like, what a load of shit. Holy crap.
He's a bounty hunter.
little pop culture lesson there for you guys about Dog the Bounty Hunter. I don't think Ozzy Osbourne did his intro. I want to say he did, but I don't think he did. But yeah, he got a reputation. He's got this monstrous mullet. These fucking Bluetooth head sunglasses. He keeps them on. He looks badass. He takes them off. He's got like fucking really bad crow's feet because he lives in fucking Hawaii. He
always looks thirsty.
Yeah, like you look at him and I'll be like, would you like some water, sir? Yeah, brother.
Or some moisturizer.
Was your intention when you were a kid, did you sit there and tell yourself, Mr. Bounty Hunter, that when you grow up you want your face to look like a leather couch? Or was that just too much exposure from the sun? I mean, and the thing was like the episodes were formulated like this. Okay, we got a runner. Here's why this guy didn't make bail. This is why we bailed. This is why he was arrested. We bailed him out. He owes us X amount of money, and we need to turn him in so we can get that money back. They find him or her. They arrest him or her. They sit him in the back of his like suburban SUV, and he offers the guy or girl a cigarette. They talk about God. He's got to get right with Jesus, brother. And I'm not saying Dog had it easy. Like, Dog killed a guy, went to jail, did his time for it. So talk about, religion and shit. And then he drops him off to the police station to get his fucking cash. So, it's a crazy fucking life. Like some of my fellow wrestling fans will know about the infamous slap heard around the world. It's when a reporter went to a WWE wrestler. Is like, is this fake? Is this fake? And he like slapped him the wrestler slapped the reporter not once but twice. Made him crawl away. Big ordeal. Vince McMahon fired this guy when he came back from Japan, and this same guy became a fucking bounty hunter. He's a pretty good bounty hunter back in those fucking days. He ended up retiring because he did so well because of it. But it's just. I don't know, man. Like to see Dog the Bounty Hunter get involved in this, it seems like a last grasp at fame, and that's the way we all look at it because he was a figurehead on television. You know what I mean?
He was big enough to get South Park to parody him. It's pretty big.
Yeah. I'm the day, the baby, authority, don, Benny Hinder, Hall Pass Monitor or some shit like that was the song. But yeah, it's just weird, man. It's like now it's one reason why I don't watch professional wrestling nowadays because guys like The Rock or Steve Austin come out and it's like, hey guys, remember me? I was popular now. So you guys were babies, you cheered for me. Cheer for me now. You're older now.
What's The Rock doing coming out anymore? He's so famous on all kinds of other things. Like, don't waste your time or body on wrestling anymore.
So, yeah, it's to hear about that case, about that girl disappearing, and all it does is nothing more than fuel for shows like 2020 or, Dateline to do specials on them. And, I'm such a true crime fanatic.
I'm still rooting for Dog to catch him before the cops do, though.
I hope he does. I hope he does it in a manner that's not so spectacular. It's not a spectacle. That the only footage you see of Dog is like him walking a guy into a police station. Hey brother, I got this guy right here.
I'll tell you what though. There's like while everybody was searching the Carlton Reserve, that big, huge, like swamp, like national park. At one point, this guy Laundry's Instagram account went live at one point since he like went on the lam, and it was just a few seconds of you see he's in a boat and you see the water, and then it shuts off. Like you see it's basically seeing from the inside of a boat towards the water, and then it cuts out. So he was in a boat, some type of small boat, maybe a rowboat in the water, not in a swamp, and. Like, not that long after that, Dog said that he thinks Brian Laundrie's actually in this big, huge, sprawling campground that's on little islands. And that you get to the islands by canoe or boat, and that's where he's searching. And just yesterday, he found, like, a primitive campsite on one of the islands. So, like, he might find him.
He really stands there. He waves all 3 feet of his mullet hair out of his face. He's like, I found it, brother. This is it. I'm on the hunt now. We got him, brother. Then a black guy walks by. Yeah, I didn't mean that stuff, I didn't mean anything of it. We're cool, right, brother? They go, yeah, whatever, motherfucker. But it just, I just, and proof, like what you just said right now. Dog said, I found a primitive campsite. It's like, dude, you're making this a spectacle. Focus on catching this guy. And I don't mean to upset anyone. Because you know what? That's someone's daughter. Justin and Robert both have little girls. And I'm sure you guys would want all the attention in the world to help you find them if, God forbid, something like that happens.
Yeah, they're just lucky they're getting the attention,
Yeah. And it's like, part of me is like, I hope they find her. But my cynical side is like, yeah, you know what? But there are a lot of other missing people in this country that aren't getting nowhere near as much airtime as this attractive young lady.
I mean, I guess the reason she got the attention was because I don't know. I never looked up van life, but apparently they were like some type of influencers or something. So like it was noticed. You know what I mean? It wasn't just something local. That's what I think. I don't believe it. I mean, I know that they were, but I don't think that's the only real reason why.
If that, that's just another reason. It's just another way that we can spotlight on influencer lifestyles. It gives them negative attention because now people are like, oh, van life. So they're going to look up that hashtag on Google or on Instagram. And some of these people then barely got any hits or now getting all the hits because they're living a hashtag van life. And, and it's like, yeah, look at this. Wow, they're so free spirited. It's like, yeah, but look at the dark side of it. Yep. Sometimes it doesn't fucking work out.
Yeah.
This is how Halloween is coming up, so we might as well talk about grungy shit like this, like the Gray Man of New York, Albert Fish. Google him, get grossed out big time.
The Fish Man.
You know who I'm talking about, Robert?
No.
Oh boy.
I don't know it either, but now I'm interested.
Yeah, look it up. I mean, you guys are parents. I would not want anyone to go through what the parents of because this guy was pretty fucking brutal with kids. He was a masochist. He was, he's up there with guys like Andrei Chikatilo, who was a notorious serial killer in Russia back when Russia believed that they didn't have serial killers because Russians weren't built that way. This guy fucking killed like over 80 children, ate some of them. Google Albert Fish letter. And you'll probably read the most disturbing thing in the world. This guy literally wrote to the family of the young girl. Long story short, he goes to this house because he's looking for a painter, right? His intention is to hire this family's son. But then he met the little girl and he was like taken away by her. He was like, oh, she's so beautiful. Blah, 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 blah. Convinces the parents to let him take the little girl with him to a birthday party for one of his grandchildren, as he said. So, the family look at this kindly old man and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, he's like 100. What the fuck? We got it. This is like, I want to say 1920s, 1930s New York, right? Leads her to a house, kills her, cuts her up, and eats her over the course of 9 days.
Jesus.
Writes the family a letter describing everything he did.
Wow.
For our listeners, this is some of the stuff I listen to. I love my true crime podcasts, I just got done listening to the Casey Anthony story from a podcast called Necronomicon, where right here in Florida. Are you familiar with Casey Anthony, Robert?
Yep.
No, I'm not.
Justin is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the girl who got acquitted for murdering her child because she looks good in front of a camera is what a lot of people were saying. It's up there, man. So I'm waiting for the specials on this young lady as we circle back to that topic to describe what happened if they catch this guy even, because you know clearly he's guilty of something because he's fucking running like no one's business. And my favorite part about stories like this is when they get caught, they're like, yeah, but I didn't do it. Yeah, but you ran for like 3 months. Yeah, but I didn't do it, man. I didn't do anything. You know, she's somewhere. Whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Hashtag
That's always the crazy thing. It's like, especially when you can't turn up evidence, like, so we can't convict him, but he was most definitely running forever because he wasn't guilty. You know?
Yeah. Well, look
Right.
at O.J. Simpson.
Yeah.
You know, that was proof that celebrity status can help get you off.
Yep.
I gotta go to bed. I'm
No, you
under the
don't.
weather.
Shut up.
I'm not
You will
feeling so
stay
good.
awake and you will like it.
Yeah, we're going to actually talk about Transformers because you mentioned Star Saber. There's another thing that caught my eye on this was the Yolo Park Optimus model kit.
This is a pretty extensive looking model kit, that's for sure. Yolo Park is a licensed thing, right? Like, this is not a third-party company. I can't even keep third-party companies and official licensees like straight anymore. Like, like is this legit or is it not? I don't know. I think it's legit.
Look at those trays. Like, if you thought that Flame Toys was obnoxious, these trays look absurd. Now, I don't think that this is its packaging, but holy crap, man.
Oh,
There's a
Jesus.
serious amount of detail.
Oh, my God. That's not that bad. I've seen worse with Gundam sets, but that's up there. That's a lot. But he's not that big, I guess, huh? I'm not sure.
Oh,
He's not that big.
that leg looks huge on the video playing, showing your articulation.
Interesting. So you'd have to paint them yourself. This is for serious Gundam kit builders who like paint their shit. Like it would kind of, yeah, that would kind of suck to just have them gray. That's a lot of work. I never got into that, you know, just because the work involved, you're having everything, you're keeping it organized, and it's off the sprue. Like, I don't even know what you do at that point. All your shit's off the sprues. You can't even follow the instructions now. You know?
Yep.
That looks pretty cool, though.
It does. It looks really hyper detailed. It's like he jumped off the screen.
Wow. All those little bits.
I mean, you know, I'm sure if you're able to put it together, get it all painted up really nicely, like, it's probably super impressive. But, like, there is probably no amount of my personal owning this thing that someone walk in the house and be like, wow, that's awesome. Like, for me, it'd be like, wow, that's special. You know, like, it'd be like, you know, telling a someone like a little kid, like, great job on that one, buddy. You know, like,
We'll just hang
You'd
this
be like,
on the refrigerator.
yeah.
Thanks. It took 40 hours to build. Look, when you move his feet, his vents shift. That's pretty impressive, but man, just put it together, paint and sell it to me. Don't make me do the work. That's the problem.
It's like, you know, it took me like 90 hours to do, man. And my wife walked out on me. I now have to pay her $1,200 alimony payments every week, but looks fucking boss.
I mean,
on
look,
the coffee table.
You know, it should be colored plastic, and obviously, because for the collector who doesn't customize, doesn't paint, you should sell it as colored plastic. Because then, look, the people who will paint it, they're going to paint it anyway.
Yeah.
You know. So this, you're basically making. I would say more people. The majority of people do not paint their figures. They don't have the skill or the wherewithal. So most of these units are just going to be brown and gray on the shelves. There's no.
Okay, so these parts are going to be colored.
No, these aren't going to be colored. Because I don't think so. I mean, I guess there's the chance it is. I'm just assuming it based on these sprues. You know.
According to the writing on this article on TFW, it says this is just a sample, so the parts are not colored yet, but other Palamo kits from Yolo Park have featured colored pieces.
Well, that'd be
According to their
good.
Facebook, pre-orders for this model kit should start soon, but it's licensed only for Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, and Vietnam.
Wow, Southeast Asian exclusivity. Well, that's cool if it's colored. That is good. Yeah, that
But we're
makes it
big
more
dumb
tempting.
Americans, so we wouldn't be able to know. We wouldn't know what to do with this.
Big dumb American.
You're so stupid. You have buffet. You buy Chinese food made by Mexican.
How much is this?
I don't know the price point.
Yeah. It's a nightmare to put together. All right. Man, I want to go to bed. I don't feel good.
All right, so we'll call it because
Robert's
Robert's
being
not
a
feeling
bitch.
too good.
And,
Sorry for the true crime rant. It's just that's just another side of me that a lot of people aren't aware of. I love listening to true crime stories, and especially the YouTubers that make 40-minute essays on a guy who killed 2 people, and they're like, he's the most prolific killer ever in mankind's history. He killed 2 people in a bar in Texas in December.
I wish I had time for
But-
more podcasts. I'd listen to all that stuff too. So.
yeah.
I get lucky. My job, at my job, I could put my Bluetooth headset on and play them and listen to them as I actually do my work. While you guys get to work from home sometimes. But
Yeah, I can't listen to people talking while I'm typing. Like, I'm typing letters, and I'll just type what they're saying in my ears. Like, I just can't do that.
well, like my Bluetooth headset hangs over my neck, and it has like the earpieces come out. They're like on a retractable thing. So I listen to it through the speakers on the actual earpiece that hangs around my neck. So even now when I'm home and my wife's talking to me, I force a habit. I'm like jamming my thumb in my neck because that's where the play button normally is. But first off, while we end this show, I want to give a special shout out to our good friend Eddie Dustmightz for providing the beats for the theme song.
Mm-hmm.
Be sure to check out our friends over at Realm of Collectors on Facebook. Some of them actually listen to us. Thank you, Brian Brink, because I still listen.
Yeah, but you didn't submit an intro thing like I asked, so.
Yeah,
You know
Brian, you fucking genius. Handsome devil, you. You're almost as smart as Justin. Now you just lost more points. So you're as smart as Robert, but still smarter than me. Which, according to
Submit
my
some
wife,
intros.
is not
Come
that
on.
hard to pull. Yes, check them out on Facebook.com/groups/Realm of Collectors. I love their no beef arena there. They always chill everyone the fuck out. And everyone who followed us from Shattered Cast Uncut, we are grateful to each and every one of you for joining us on this amazing journey. Especially rebranding can be really hard. We also want to tell you guys, please email your questions, email your submissions. You have a record function on your phone to Hailunicroncast. That's HAILUNICRONCAST@gmail.com.
If you don't
All
know
right,
how to
email
spell
your submissions,
Unicron, you're a
just say-
bad Transformer fan.
Say what?
If you don't know how to spell Unicron, you're a bad Transformer fan.
Yeah, you're not a
Hail
real fan.
Unicorncast!
Hail unicorns. I love unicorns. It's like every time Robert writes thanks on his fucking cell phone, thanks to me, it says it spells out Thanos, not thanks.
It's true.
Yeah, email us your questions, seriously.
And your life's problems, we'll answer.
Any of your life's
Seriously.
problems, man. You got a coworker you really fucking hate and you really want to know you're talking shit about him, email us. We'll keep your name out of it, for a price.
Yep. What's
If
it
you
again?
like,
It's,
when we go
Hailunicroncast.
off tangents, ask us your life problems, because I guarantee you that's going to give tangents. Well, back in the day when I was working at so-and-so place, that will give you the tangents. So come on, ask
Ask us-
questions.
Ask
It's
us about things.
Hailunicroncast@gmail.com.
That's right. Ask us anything, seriously, Ask Justin about the numerous sexual partners he had before he decided to settle down with his lovely wife he has now.
Exactly.
Because Justin was a man whore and a half.
Crazy.
He once told me this story. He was at this bar, and there was this
Save
lady who
it
bought
for
him a
another
drink.
podcast. It's another episode,
No,
Oscar. We
let's
got
tell
to
the
have him
story.
back.
It's
We
gotta
got to
end- it's just-
tease them with the story, and then
It's not going to end with the way you did that one blonde chick in the back behind the Outback Steakhouse by the grease dumpster. All right, this is a different one. So this girl buys him a drink. He looks at her. He runs his hands through his hair and his goatee, and he just goes, "Let's fuck."
It's
And
probably
boom,
true.
that's his first wife. I mean, it's just amazing how this all works out for him. So, and then there's Robert's stories when he meets women at a bar. He told me this one time he was in Brooklyn. He went to this little cafe, and this lovely young lady winked at him. So he approached her, and he goes, "What's that, a latte?" She was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I want to shove that up my ass." Right up there.
I'll bend over, and then shove it up my ass upside down while it's full of coffee. And then I'll stand up, and then the coffee will fall out my ass and look like I'm shitting all over the floor. It'll be hilarious.
Objection
story.
sustained.
I believe this story now. So
It's true. And then, boom, that's how we met Lisa. So, fucking horrible. But yeah. So hit us up. We hope to hear from you guys. Some more stuff for our intros. I might submit some stuff for the intros because I will not be out voiced by the talented William Fong, King of Hairstyles. So until then, be good to yourselves, each other, stay reformatted, and have a wonderful day.
somewhere else.
Yeah, somewhere else, not here. Be bringing that shit over here.
Thanks for listening.